we've been given a function f of x, the graph of this, and we're asked to sketch negative f of x minus 3. So what you want to do here is you want to get all of your original coordinates in a table. So the a coordinate, just write onto the diagram first, is negative 3, 0. The c coordinate here is 0, 2. Your d coordinate is 2, 0. So I'm going to just first of all set up this table with the original coordinates, negative 3, 0, negative 1, 3, 0, 2, and 2, 0. And then I'm going to use BODMAS when we're evaluating this transformation. So I want to work out negative f of x first, and then I will subtract 3 afterwards. So you need to know what negative f of x means. Now, if the negative is outside of the function, then that is going to affect the y coordinates. If the negative was attached to the x, it would have affected the x coordinates. So if you think about it affecting your y coordinates, it's a flip on the x axis. Because what used to be positive would become negative, so it's flipping on the horizontal x-axis. Minus 3 is easy. You shift down 3. So if we are going to be affecting the y coordinates, then our y coordinates get multiplied by negative 1. Nothing happens when you multiply 0 by negative 1. But all of our other y coordinates will now have a negative sign. Then we are going to move the graph down 3, so it's the y coordinates that are affected again, because you're moving down 3, so y is going to be your up and down. So negative 3, negative 3, negative 1, negative 6, 0, negative 5, and 2, negative 3. Now that you have your new coordinates, you need to try and sketch this. Now every y coordinate is negative, so I'm going to just make the y-axis longer here. So negative 3, doesn't need to be perfect. Negative 1, negative 6, 0, negative 5, and 2, negative 3. Now once you've plotted those coordinates, think about the shape before you start joining them up. Look at the original one. Think about what has happened. You're flipping it on the x-axis, so it's going to look upside down. And then the moving down 3 part doesn't matter too much because you've already done that with the coordinates. The gist of it is you're making the graph flip on the x-axis, so it's upside down. So when you're joining them up, you have a turning point at B. You still have a turning point, but it's now a minimum, not a maximum. Then you have another turning point at D, but instead of a minimum, it's now a maximum. So these are your new coordinates. Make sure when you're annotating your sketch, you write in the full coordinates as well. Negative 3, negative 3, negative 1, negative 6. If it's on the axis, you can just get away with writing negative 5 next to the axis. But if it's not on an axis, then make sure you write the x and y coordinate. And that would be enough for your full marks for this one. Now, the other question wanted you to sketch using the same graph here, f of x, 2f of x minus 1. So what I'm going to do is just do this again. Right, so for the next question, we need our original coordinates again. Just going to quickly write them out. We're going to work out the shift to the right first inside the brackets, so f of x minus 1, which is a shift to the right by 1. And then we're going to multiply the y coordinates by 2. Times the y coordinates by 2. And if you think about what happens, that's going to be stretching the graph. So it's going to be taller if you're multiplying the y coordinates by 2. So if you're shifting the graph to the right by 1, then you're going to be adding 1 to all of your x values. So looking at the -3, add 1, you get -2. -1, add 1, you get 0. 0 plus 1, you get 1. 2 plus 1, 3. Then with the 2 outside of the function, that's affecting the y coordinates. So look at your y values and multiply them by 2. These are your new coordinates. So when you're plotting them, -2, 0. I'm just going to move this down. 0, 6, 1, 4, and 3, 0. Look at your original graph. All that's happened is we've moved it to the right and also made it taller. We've stretched it vertically. So it should look roughly the same shape. So connect all of your dots. And also annotate your graph with your new coordinates. If they're on the axes, you can just write the value of the x or y. So -2 is fine there, 6 is fine here, but this needs to be 1, 4, that would have to be 3. And that is enough for full marks.